camp is set up. Gosh. This is crazy. That bloody navigator, complete cheat, always trying to make himself the hero. And then he bloody did it. Can't even talk shite about him now. We'll miss him, Captain. He's really gone. He saved me, and then... Kasha examines the camera in her hands. His story will be told, Captain. Kurt Darling, he was a hero. Approach Temple. Do you think we will lose our navigator at the last hurdle? Reckless or no, what he achieved is admirable. The legacy of Kurt Darling will survive through his heroic actions. It's not like we have anything to put in there, huh? Let's go into that tent. Captain, it is time. We are at the crossroads and the decision needs to be made. We both read the cairn. We know the location of the Viscount lies in this cave. We are this close. Our mission's end lies in wait. What do you expect to find there? Answers, for better or worse. If what we read is correct, the shore cabin should hold enough rations to last us a full year. We can't afford the risk of missing a single rescue ship. I think it's worth it. We should secure that cabin first before returning. Right, of course. But this mountain is perilous, Captain. Can we survive a second trek? You should inform the crew of our movement as soon as you leave this tent. I know you will make the right call, Captain. Approach the scientists. Find the crew's science officer overlooking several petri dishes containing various materials picked from the walls of the cave. Carouser and Carouser. Curioser and Curioser, jeez. What's curious? Captain, observe the materials we've uncovered in just the entrance of this cave. Copper, tungsten, antimony. These are deposits more likely found in lakes, not all in a cave. Let alone a mountaintop cave in the polar region. Nothing about it seems natural. Could this be why the Abertons were looking for this area? Perhaps. Captain, may I ask you a question? Go ahead. I've assumed you must enjoy my questions at this stage. You keep humoring them. Well, regardless, we have been working together for quite some time now, and in that time, I've been able to evaluate you. Oh, here we go again. After assessing your abilities and your decision making, I can safely conclude that you are more than capable in your role as captain. As such, I would like to offer you a job. You wish to work with me again, Templeton? My wishes are irrelevant. You are more than qualified for the role. I can easily recommend you to the company head. It's time I told you the truth of who we're working for. About time. Out with it. Templeton reveals a tin can of rations. He passes it over to you. The woman modeling on the front stares back at you before you look back to Templeton. Yes, the Epperton Company already knew that. Don't focus on the name, on the face. Her name is Minerva Epperton. She is the president of Epperton Tinning Company. She's real. Yes. Did you believe her to be entirely fictitious? Didn't expect her to be in charge of the company. It is an unassuming role, yes, but that is how Minerva prefers it. Tinned foods is perhaps the lowest priority with the company in today's age, as you can likely tell by the shoddy work on our rations. Instead, Lady Epperton is focused on turning her company into the only option in commerce, which is why she sought after the expedition of the Viscount. She's interested in what the Viscount found in the ice. Tell me everything you know. No doubt, there are several details Minerva has kept hidden from even myself, but I would tell you what I can. The original expedition of the Viscount was carried out by the government. A race to find the southmost point of the world, chartered out in the name and glory of science. But upon arrival, it appears they discovered the same strange environments as we have, and so they choose to investigate instead of heading back. And contrary to legend and hearsay, it wasn't the cold and the starvation that drove the crew mad. It was what they found there that took their minds. Just what did they find? The part remains a mystery, but what we do know, there was a witness, a survivor washed ashore, half mad, their tongue cut out. They lived only long enough to give us a hint at what we're looking for. It is unknown what exactly lies in wait for us should we find the Viscount, but from what we know, the crew of that vessel found something world-changing. This is no mere treasure. What they found was unnatural in nature, a paradox existing at the most southern point of the world. And whoever can retrieve it, bring it back to civilization, will shape the path of human advancement for the next century. You knew this the entire time, and you never told me. Were you in my position, would you have trusted me with the same information? I had to be certain that you could be informed without compromising our goals. I cannot forgive being kept in the dark like this. I was hoping you would understand my perspective, but it seems your thoughts are clouded. Now I have told you all that I know. Please leave me to my research. You turn, but Templeton speaks up once more. Oh, Captain. You never officially responded to my offer. Do you wish to work with the Epperton Tinning Company after this? I will take it under consideration. See that you do, Captain. Speak to the Kennel Master. Cordell, you, I wish to speak with you on a matter. What matter? Concerning your report. Put simply, I have a story for you to include regarding who I am. You were a Kennel Master? This is true, but not the whole truth. Well, this is sudden. I have been curious about your past. I have no doubt you were. Cordell turns to Kasha as the reporter quickly scrambles together her notepad and pen. Now I am certain you have heard them call me Lady Cordell. Yes, frequently. I asked around and apparently it was a moniker granted to you due to how you spoke. Well, those who dubbed me with the name have no idea the irony in doing so. The truth is, I am a noble. Or rather, I was. What? I suspected you might have had an upper-class background. Your suspicions have not done you wrong, Sean. I was born and raised within the nobility. I don't mean to call you a liar, but that's just a big claim. Ingrid Cordelia Weston. What? You kept your ear to the ground often. I'm sure you've heard of her. Yes, actually, she's a distant relative of the monarchy. Had a seat as an MP for a brief period. Went missing unexpectedly. Well, I am Ingrid Cordelia Weston. Not just nobility, we're speaking to royalty. I have all the proof I need to show you. No need, I believe you. You do? That would certainly be an odd thing to lie about. I assume you're aware of the political system, Kasha. To no end. Researching it was possibly the most dull and harrowing part of the last report. And yourself, Captain? Vaguely. Well, then allow me to refresh your memory. Well, as a distant cousin of said monarch, I was placed in one of those parliamentary seats. As you can imagine, I had no interest in being an MP. My aversion towards human interaction was no different in my youth. From the age I received my first dog as a gift in my childhood, I have much preferred their company. Surely there was once a time when you weren't such a recluse. Well, you have encountered and interviewed many of the nobility in your time, correct? Correct. But you choose to spend your time amongst those people. Fair point. So, this whole time we've been traveling with the runaway MP. Yes, I suppose it does sound quite unusual. I find it shocking you were never found. I've learned not to be surprised at this stage. But why did you leave? The reasons for that are quite simple. I refuse to live that life any longer. In that world, in my position, certain things were expected of me. Act with decorum, attend every social event, keep your real self hidden until you're considered suitable to be shipped off into a political marriage. A grim reality, one I wanted no part of. My choice was clear, and it didn't hesitate in my thought for a moment. I left home in the dead of night, taking only two things with me. A certificate of birth, for reasons more practical than sentimental, and my dog, for reasons more sentimental than practical. I started a breeding kennel in the capital, earned the moniker of Lady Cordell among the common folk, and from then I was free to feel the ground beneath my feet. As Cordell speaks, Kasha intently takes notes. I see. So, trapped in a restrictive role in society, you broke free of your chains, yearning to be independent. I suppose, yes. Just like a wild pack of dogs, able to roam free. Please do not include the surface-level poetic interpretation of my actions. Poetics are my calling, but okay. So have you ever considered returning to the nobility? Not even slightly. That life is simply not for me. Thank you for sharing, Cordell, but why have you shared this with me? Why now? My report, it will expose your identity to everyone. Why would you allow that? Because I trust you to tell my story. And I no longer have anything to hide. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I'll tell the whole truth of your tale. I know you will. Assuming you'll leave out that tripe about wild dogs. And yourself, Captain? Speaking of dogs, how's Stanberry? Faring well, still pregnant. What? Stanbury is pregnant? Yes, quite fortunate for me after what happened to my kennel. It was a stroke of good luck. Yes, our fortunes are funny in a way. I intend on replacing the kennel I lost, piece by piece. Stanbury will birth a new generation of sled dogs. So you'll be continuing your line of work? Yes, I much sooner begin again as a kennel master than return to the nobility. Agreed. So, that's your entire story? More or less? Yes. I'm sure Captain Shaw has no objections to this tale. I never would have expected. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you listening. I can't believe you would trust us with. Thank you, friend. Do not mistake this for closeness. I simply trust your credentials enough to consider you a professional. But you're welcome, friend. Return and leave Kasha and Cordell. The cave entrance, the view to shore. You look out across at the ocean. Abandon the mission and seek the rescue ship. The cave entrance. You notice that the compasses are pointing directly towards the cave. Forgo the rescue ship to search for the Viscount. We've come a long way, so we do want to know what's inside. Screw it. Dark cave network reveals itself into an opening. Approach the light. There it stands before you, the Viscount, where it was left by its former crew, but not as it was left. The ship stands quite different indeed. Gotta be kidding me. The snow filtering into the grotto seems almost frozen in time. The weather itself remains fixed in awe of this impossibility sprouting from the great lost ship. Keep staring for but a moment longer. You can barely believe your eyes. This certainly isn't a dream. You make out the letters spelling Viscount on the hull of the vessel. After 5 years, no, 6. After the most roundabout road possible, you finally found it. Drop the mask of Captain for but a moment and cheer. Should we allow us to... Nah. Come at a great cost, so nah, that's not the one, right? Gods, it's... You're uncharacteristically at a loss for words. You continue to stand in the awe of the ship. Neither of you can come to words, staring at the frame of the ship before you. My word, it's... Kasha appears to be lost for words. She slowly raises her camera up and snaps a photograph of the ship. My goodness. Shaw, despite the vegetation, Viscount looks to be intact. I shouldn't hazard to get my hopes up, but... remarkable. Truly remarkable. Captain, we must study this at once. I was concerned, Shaw. I was worried that we may not find anything at the end. But this is more than I could have possibly imagined. How could something like this exist out here? It's just not possible, is it? Believe your eyes, Doctor. I can only imagine what Kurt would have said if he saw this. He would have loved it. This It's just like the songs. Songs? Old Saltborn Tale, the fruit of the three sisters. It always scared Junior as a wee lad. We don't want to touch it, Sean. Awfully superstitious, don't you think? Maybe, but we're looking at it now, aren't we? What the fuck? Am I seeing things here? You're not. You've got to be fucking joking. I know. This tree. The tree? I don't give a shit about some bloody tree. What? Then what are you? The Viscount. Look at it. It's seaworthy. You know that from a look? I know every inch of it. It's just like its twin. We can sail this. Captain, this truly is a discovery for the ages. We need a moment to collect our thoughts. Under no circumstances anyone to touch that boat. For all we know, that plant could be poisonous. We need to practice extreme caution. Well, you're the botanist, aren't you? Take a look at it. Grr, bark, bark, bark. Stanbury, please. I am no expert on plants, but something about that thing unnerves me. Don't trust it for a second. We should focus on setting up camp before we do anything rash. Indeed. Well, we should not lose focus. Crew get to work setting up a makeshift camp on the side of the ship in the grotto. This is amazing. I don't know what to expect to find here, but what is that one though? What are the lifeboats of the ship? It's one of our lifeboats. Captain's cabin. It's locked. Descend below deck. Wow, look at that tree. Inspect the organ. Return. Descend to the lower deck. Enter the boiler room. Wow. The heart of the Viscount. That thing looks a little bit bigger than ours, right? Ooh, what about him? A corpse? The engine of the Viscount. The classic retrofitted steam train model. Twisted amongst the roots of the tree. An old skeleton in what appears to be a captain's uniform. Their bones have fused to the roots around it. They've clearly been here for some time. Inside their coat you find the ship's key. Oh, there we go. Right, let's get back up again. You unlock the door with the captain's key. What? You enter to find a ghost sitting before you. Littered around the room are countless familiar scrawlings. Wait, what? Read the page. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. Address over leave. Must not have it. Always stuck in the eyes. Shaw? What's with the numbers, though? Speak to the old captain. Gotta be kidding me. Hunt. You wouldn't happen to have a light, would you? I thought you were dead. Not dead. Not quite alive either. Somewhere in between, I think. Hunt, is that you? In the flesh, my friend. This must be some sort of trick, right? This isn't happening. He looks up at your head. I don't suppose you saw my head on your way over here? Honestly, I have no idea. I never liked that head anyway. A bit aggrandizing, don't you think? How's my ship? Right where I left it, give or take a few leaks beneath the ice. Gone, did its best, but it couldn't last. A shame. Good to know the ship put up a fight. May the seas soothe her spirits. I suppose it's wrong to call her my ship, anyway. Which reminds me, Templeton told you about Minerva, no doubt. Why didn't you tell me about our benefactor? The time wasn't right. Minerva's story is a rather tragic one. Are you sure you want to hear it? Yes. Beautiful beyond reproach. You'd swear you'd never seen someone so idyllic. Anyway, the young starlet originally found herself at the helm of an illustrious stage career. Following that came business efforts, modeling, advertisements, and of course, love. Well, doomed love. She was widowed, you see, but not before winning the heart and hand of the son of a little tin foods company. How did he die? There was rumors she killed her husband, but I'm not so sure. Maybe he choked on a peach. It might have taken Minerva the rest of her life, but... well, let's just say the Appertons have their hands in a lot more than tins of peaches these days. Why the secrecy then? The Viscount's expedition was a government affair. Deduction would say that Minerva would like to keep whatever she finds for herself. Get ahead of the game, as it were. When we first met, you mentioned the Viscount was a research vessel. What was it researching? I have some questions of my own. I need answers first, Robin. Now, I want to know, which Shaw is speaking to me right now? What do you mean? Heh. How are the Stoke brothers faring? We lost Junior on the open sea. That is a travesty, indeed. How did he pass? He was taken by the three sisters. A sailor's death. I hope he died singing. He did. We sang with him. Then he's entered the sky seas. I recall we brought upon a stowaway this time. What of the young runt? How did he fare? He survived this far. His father, however. Oh, poor lad. No child should have to see that. You made land after the sail, I assume. How's everybody else? How did you fare on the ice? Kennel Master attempt to lead the expedition once we made land. I talked her out of it. Not easy to do. You must have made a convincing argument. Kasha dropped her camera during the climb. Kurt gave his life trying to recover it. Ah, Kurt. Going out the valiant hero, eh? What of the camera itself? That we were able to save. That camera is the most important item on this expedition. It is the only way any of this will be believed. Why didn't you steal it as well then? You've met her. I'm fairly certain she goes to bed clinging to the thing. Didn't get the chance. The doctor has managed to stay with us at least. He found his nerve out on the ice. Now that is pleasant to hear. He was the only crew member I was unsure of. I didn't want to upset his father by getting the poor boy killed. Not that any of that matters now. I'm sure you'll be thrilled to learn Mr. Templeton is fine. I expected as much. Has he given you much grief? Quite a lot, actually. Heh, no surprise there. Between the two of you, I'm beginning to think I'm the only one actually considering the lives of everyone else on this doomed jaunt. My word, he truly must have been a nuisance, eh? Now, I have questions of my own. Of course, of course. I'm sure you're wondering what led me here. You might be able to tell it isn't a particularly hopeful answer. I failed my man. Less dramatics, please. How are you still alive? Be specific. Well, there was the four of us, as I'm sure you quickly figured out. Smurf, Corvid, Joe, and myself grabbed what we could and headed off with one of the larger lifeboats. Why did you abandon us in the first place, Hunt? I left for the good of the crew. What good? We've suffered out on the ice. You'll understand soon, Sean. Our flight was in the name of finding ourselves here, all of us. Smurf was the first to go. They knew what they were doing. They made their choices, and now they have passed. But where are they? Where are their bodies? They aren't here. He looks wistfully at the table. The custom of the sea occurred. Enough vagaries, Hunt. Speak more direct. It was Corvid's idea. There was protest, but after we learned the tins were poisoned with lead, we had no choice. You did what you had to, but it never should have come to that in the first place. The other two argued over partaking. Smurf refused, instead subjecting himself to further tins. It didn't last long after that. He turned sour by the fourth day and attacked us, then froze himself. Corvin and I made it to the mountain, and then she made the impossible choice. She offered herself to the mission. The man goes quiet. I can't get the taste out of my mouth, Shaw, no matter what I do. I think I'm going to be sick. You don't understand, Shaw. Every time this happens, my road always leads here, no matter what. It always leads to this. You've seen the tree outside, haven't you? You're not making any sense. This is what the Abertons have been after. We're here for this. All roads led here, Sean. What is so special about it? Hey, I have eaten of this fruit countless times, and yet I'm still here. We have heard this conversation countless times. A different me, a different you, but the same. We keep coming back here. Do you regret your choices, Sean? I remember you told me the sign of a good leader is willpower. Do you still stand by that? I do. That's commendable, Robin. The worst thing any of us can do, Robin, is become the consequence of somebody else's plan. Maybe you've been the best Shaw you can be, maybe not, but you still can be. He gestures towards the fruit. With this, you can go back, change the path to me. You speak like you've been in this game for years. I haven't, and I have. Every time I've eaten this fruit, every past loops comes freshly back to my mind. And then I send my mind back once more. You can do the same, Robin. You can go back again. You won't really remember, but part of you will want to try something else. Some things will stay the same. We always get stuck. The temperance is always lost. But you can save lives, save rations, perfect your leadership. If you eat the fruit, that is, open up that eye of yours. It pushes the fruit forward. What do you say, Robin? And no, I don't trust it. My path is settled, Hunt. Well, at least this means you're proud in your choices. We should head out, Robin. We have people waiting, I understand. It's been an age since I've seen my crew. Oh, but before we do, the tree out there, do you plan on taking it back to the Abertons? I don't know. I'll need the crew's input. Of course. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to burn it to the ground. Are you ready for the big reveal? What should we say? Yes, I'm ready. Here we go. I'm eager to see the look on Templeton's face. Address the crew with Hunt. Two of you pace towards the rest. Quite a few faces missing, aren't there? Templeton is the first to notice you. As predicted, the look on his face is a unique concoction of shock, anger, and mortification. Templeton, I appear to have found your lost captain. And their heads rapidly turn in your direction. One by one, they abandon their work and rush to assemble to see the sight themselves. We certainly have a lot to clear up before we continue. Aye, that's a bloody understatement. Bloody hell, it's actually him, walking corpse. The others begin to mutter frantically. Hunt, you're still alive. Ah, the doctor made it. Good. I need you to fix up my teeth. Excuse me? He survived this entire time. I'm going to struggle to convince people my report is true at this rate. This is, quite the shock. Hunt whispers to you. Hey, I knew the look on his face would be worth it. But, perhaps you would like to clarify our situation. I'd like to know what happened myself. Gods, is that Grimly? It's good to see you again. Where are the rest, Hunt? The rest. Smurf, Corvette, Joe. Where are they? They didn't make it. Did they at least receive good death? As best they could, Grimly. Now is not the time to dwell on those gone. Captain. Yes. No, Captain Shaw. How in the world did you find this man? Captain Hunt is indeed the only survivor of those who left us. He has since partaken of the custom of the sea. Nah, Hunt has been moving ahead of us for this entire expedition. I found him in the captain's cabin. Has he enlightened you as to why he left? So you were right, Shaw. The bastard abandoned us. Watch your mouth, Hammond. Hunt told me his plan was to get ahead of us and destroy the Viscount. He means to destroy the Viscount. Captain, I think it's time we opened the floor to the rest of the crew. Something tells me many of them have words to share. Hunt, why did you bring me aboard this expedition? Excuse me? Doctor, this is hardly the time to work out your insecurities. The floor is open, Templeton. Quite so. Hunt, I've been asking myself that question since you left. Since I saw you leave. Pardon, you what? You saw Hunt leave and you didn't stop him? He couldn't stop Hunt and his men. What does it matter if he saw him? It is in the past now. We won't hold that against you, Arthur. I know, but I still need to know. Heh, I remember that. You looked like a frightened deer when you saw me ready to go. Is that why you brought me on board? Because I couldn't stop you. Because I was young, naive, easily manipulated. It is, isn't it? Hunt tilts his head in confusion. Hell's no. Oh? No, it was a favor to your father. He's my barber. That's it. That's the entire reason. Aye, he's very good. Asked me to toughen his boy up a bit. Seems like it's done the trick. Kasha lets out a small troll before covering her mouth to stop herself. Arthur did that himself. To be honest, I was worried from the beginning that my father was involved. And yet, after all that's happened, I'm actually relieved the real reason is so. Meaning, this entire time, it didn't matter. I put more thought into why I was here than Hunt ever did. The doctor has no choice but to laugh at the absurdity of it all. We're getting away from the point at hand. Anyone else apparently require a psychological evaluation? You turn back to the crew to find yourself face to face with Hammond. He darts past you and confronts Hunt. Enough bloody games. You shouldn't have gone down with the ship. That's tradition, you coward. Tradition would want all of us dead? Best not to follow that now, I think. No more jokes, Hunt. Hammond's right. Watch your mouth, Hammond. How about Hunt watches himself? You left us to die, bastard. Indeed, To pick and choose when tradition matters. It's shameful, no? At least Shaw sees sense. The crew are still looking to you to make sense of all this. Is there anything you would like to add, Captain? I think we've all heard enough. Take this opportunity to come clean about events past. Well, let's go on with it. And clear your throat. The rest of the crew are still watching and waiting. About our benefactor. Her name is Minerva Apperton. She owns the Tin Food Company. As in the peaches? I spent an age attempting to uncover information on the mysterious benefactor. You mean to tell me that we were eating from their tins this entire time? Curious, why would a tinning company invest in such a mission? Ridiculous. It seems our captain is suffering from some kind of delirium. A tinning company? Absurd. Don't deflect. Tell them why the Abertons invested. I think it's best we decide our next course of action. The boiler does not have much life left in it, correct? Answer the captain. I'm curious to know what you're up to. This is ridiculous. I'm not up to anything nefarious. In fact, I cannot truly say myself why this mission was invested in. Such information was kept out of even my reach. The rest of the crew are still watching and waiting. If no one else has any qualms to settle, we should move on. We cannot wait around here forever, Captain. This ship is free. What is our next course of action? Isn't it about time you told them about the tree? Hunt, what do you know of this? I'm sure you're very interested in knowing, Richard. Anyone would be. This is what your employer seeks. The fruit of this tree, it changes everything. It will change the world. I have tasted the fruit countless times, and I have seen countless paths to this moment. My word. He's truly gone insane. No surprise that the man has lost his mind. Isolation out here, it would happen to anyone. Insane or no, this tree is unnatural. There's something wrong with it. That much we can agree with. It's fascinating. Listen to me. To hells with the Abertons. They can't be allowed to have this. Nobody should. What are you suggesting? It needs to be destroyed, burned to the ground. What? Hunt, this is quite possibly the most important discovery of our age. It needs to be studied. Bearing that, you were hired by the Abertons to retrieve it, not to decide your own ethical judgment. Men, calm yourself. We should take some time to think this over. I'll stay neutral here. I doubt we will reach an agreement there, Shaw. Regardless, I am the captain of this expedition, and my word is final. A long silence falls amongst the proceedings. Rufus Hunt, you're not the captain of this expedition. What? Then who is? Shaw? Bah, Shaw is the first mate. That was a temporary agreement. I've returned and reclaimed my role. Unfortunately, Hunt, I have read our contracts quite thoroughly. Tablet produced his copy from his jacket pocket. In the event of the captaincy is held in contention, the correct course of action is to hold a vote. Any officer of the crew may put themselves forward to claim the title. Then that's what we will have. The crew should decide for themselves. A vote? I welcome it. The contract also states that candidates should put forward their selection for the first mate position. The selection of first mate is allowed to make their case to the crew in open forums as to why they should select their paired candidate. Ha, good luck with that. Best get to it then. Come on, you lots. Captain's vote requires a deck. Board now. And let's end this. The crew tentatively board the vessel. Proceedings commence. Here we go. No need for introductions. We're far past the point for that. There's so much I've seen in all my days leading vessels like this. The swords you love would hear songs of and doubt every word of it. But what I've seen here, it goes so far beyond any of that. What stands before you is so much bigger than any of us. I've walked this path before so many times. Half of you can attest to that. I understand if you look at me as a deserter, a coward, a traitor. You have every reason to. But you should ask yourselves where you stand, where your road took you. Always. Here with me. Even in my absence, I've always led you to where you need to be. Hunt clears his throat before pointing to the tree. This thing is an abomination. The power it holds is too great for any one person to possess. Hunt holds up the fruit. Do you wish to hand this, the quite literal fruits of our labor, over the employer who would have us die out here for their games? The employer would not even entrust you their name. An employer who would leave us out to die on the ice. That would refuse to send rescue? There are murmuring between the crew at the implication that rescue ship was not sent. Robin Shaw was a fine officer, but Shaw could only hold down the fort in my stead. Shaw did not weather the seas. Shaw did not discover the Viscount. I did. You should judge Shaw in the officer's own words. When we last spoke on the Temperance, Shaw told me that the mark of a leader comes in willpower. I ask you, what has willpower gotten you over a solid, proper plan? Do you think the will of Robin Shaw can carry you any further? No, I believe it's time my first mate said a few words. Grimly? Grimly steps up. We'll keep it short. Captain Rufus Hunt is a man who I would trust with my life. Always has been. When Junior and I were but lads, he took us in when we had nowhere else to go. Since then, he's been the best captain we could have worked for. Shaw couldn't live up to that standard. If it wasn't for Shaw, my brother would still be. Shaw would even rip music from us to have their own way. If you trust me, you should trust Hunt. Grimly steps down. Thank you, Grimly. If only your brother could be with us now. I believe it's your turn to speak, Shaw. You step forward as the crew awaits with bated breath. Hunt has already had his chance to speak. Now's your chance to refute his words. There's a stillness in the air. You've traveled so far with this crew and now they stand. All seem to be hoping that your next words will instill in them confidence. An assurance that all this time spent with you has been worth the trouble. You pause, collecting yourself for a moment, before making your first statement. It has been some time. I hope that you would permit me just a little more. It has been some time. I hope that you would permit me just a little more. I believe the key to leadership is a great sense of willpower. Our journey is plain proof of this. Through it all, I pressed on for the sake of the crew. I can only hope that, in doing so, I inspired many of you to do the same. However, it was not me who displayed this great will. I owe my crew for pushing me forward when I would falter. Give them credit, absolutely. I see before me many different faces from many different backgrounds. Just to drop them for your own good. And yet, look at you. Here and now, you all stand side by side, shoulder to shoulder. We have more in common with each other now than anyone else on this world. The crew look around, examining each other, taking a moment to consider the souls who have traveled with them to the ends of the earth, the souls they intend to travel back with. I haven't a bad word to say about this lot. Frankly, your music is some of the finest I've had the honor of hearing. Thank you. I've had my views on these people for some time, but I see now that I was wrong. Here we're all brothers in arms. Whatever I thought about landlubbers and imperialists, that shit doesn't matter anymore. We're all the one crew, aren't we? Your thoughts turn to the Viscount and the trees sprouting from his back. You must make your intentions clear. We have the numbers. We can sail the Viscount home. And that's what I intend to do. Time for fear is over. Let us all stand united and plunge ourselves headfirst into the depths. Who will you choose as your first mate to speak on your behalf? Templeton? Cordell? Hammond? Notley? Kasha? Or can I choose Stanbury? They nod back at you. Cordell steps forward. There's been a long time since I was expected to give a speech. Allow me to keep this rather brief. Arf. Even Stanbury would like a word in all positive. Shaw. I have dealt with a great deal of employers. Beyond that, I've spoken with nobles. Wined and dined with royalty and made deals with every ship captain you can imagine. And not a single one would see me stand here and stake my reputation in their favor. None but Shaw. Robin Shaw has proven a different breed entirely, one I can respect. I know all of you see it as well. For better or worse, none of you have dealt with a Robin Shaw in your past. Rufus Hunt's a common as the dirt beneath your boot. That sort will never pull us from the depths. But Shaw? I trust Shaw. Cordell steps back. Nothing more to do. Let's start the voting. 7 lost. They will all go to hunt. Yeah, I expected that much. Oh, hey. What about him, though? As the vote comes to a close, Hunt stares at you in shock. Well, there you have it, Shaw. Suppose I can't argue that, can I? You honestly didn't expect this? I like to think of myself as a smart man, Robin, but I can't see everything coming. I, for one, am glad to have such a pretty business behind us. And I'm glad to see you in charge, Shaw. Still, Hunt is still an issue. As is my understanding, he has committed more than a few crimes against this expedition. Frankly, I care not. There are no laws on the ice. But the decision is yours, Shaw. I'm curious on that myself. Well, Shaw, you're the captain. What should you do with me? I don't know of him eating his last crewmate, right? He didn't fully tell the crew. So whatever crimes he's done, he will join us as a free man. Let's at least give him that. Until we reach land, at least. Then it's out of our hands, isn't it, Robin? A consequence of someone else's plan. Captain, we best decide on the matter of this plan. Templeton is right that this is a truly great discovery. But I do not know what others will make of it. Regardless, it is up to you. Nobody is to touch the tree. It will not burn. Thank you, Captain. No, you can't. This damn thing has to burn. If you won't, I'll do it myself. Think this through, Rufus. You burn that tree, and our best means of escape burns up with it. Think of the crew. I can't go back. Another crew. No point keeping this one. What use is protecting this crew if that thing is just handed off to Minerva? How safe are you lot then? I promise, Aberton will not touch this plan. We just need the ship to escape. That best be true, Shaw. Hunt hesitates for a moment before stopping his march. All that remains then is a method of escape. Rescue ship sent by the benefactor. It is unlikely we can make it to shore in time, correct? It does leave us in a difficult position. Ready up the Viscount. We're all sailing out together. Your final decision regarding the ship and its fate must be decided. Burn the tree. No, we don't. We take it with them, but we don't hand it over. That's the thing. This is it, eh? If you told me when we first got trapped that we'd be sailing out on the Viscount, I would have decked you. Turns out, what do I bloody know? Not much. You've known better than the rest of us. You've proven that enough. Aye, sure I have. But it makes me wonder, what else am I wrong about? What else are you wrong about? Always had a clear head on that sort, you know. Never thought a bloody tree would ruin it. What do you think the tree is? Well, it's a tree. Outside of that, I don't bloody know. Ask Templeton. I've served a lot of ships in my time. Never once liked the one in charge of them. Military captains range from self-important and useless to drunk, self-important and useless. Didn't have high expectations for Hunt, and had lower expectations for someone he'd hired. And I think I was wrong on there. You're all right, Shaw. What will you do when we return to land? What else? I'll be going back to work. No rest for me. Hopefully more bore work next time around. Robin, if you're ever heading a ship again, let me know. I'll be right on board with you. Everyone knows you'd be a goner without me. That might be true. Oh, Captain. Sorry. I must admit, I'm still mesmerized by this tree. To think we'll be bringing home such an outstanding discovery on a ship that had fallen into rumor and legend. It all seems so unbelievable, like a dream. I have to commend you, Shaw. We've done something remarkable here. Do you think studies will unravel its secrets? I would hope so. It certainly doesn't seem natural to this area. But who is to say? We stand at the uncharted edge of the world. Perhaps this has always been here. I've always fancied myself an expert, Shaw. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to you. But over the course of our expedition, well, it's become clear just how little I truly know. And to be honest, Shaw, that excites me. I am excited for what lies ahead. What are your plans for when we return to land? No doubt Minerva will invest a great deal of resources into researching this plan. With good fortune and favor, I will be at the head of such research. To be at the forefront of such a discovery, I had my doubts once. I certainly had my doubts on you, Shaw. I've never been more happy to be wrong. I hope we have the chance to work together in the future. Our lives may be quite busy once we return. We need not work together to remain in contact. That is true, though what I will likely be able to share of my work in the future will no doubt be limited. Well, I can say one thing with certainty. The future is unknowable. Take care, Robin. No matter what happens from here, take care. Captain, I can't believe we made it. And to sail out on the Viscount, it feels almost triumphant. I'm sure Kurt would have had something poetic to say here. You've made it so far. I'm proud of you, Arthur. I thank you, Robin. I owe it to you. You know, I still thought it was all hopeless, even after leaving you that letter. I have very little faith in survival. And yet, people were relying on me, Captain. I can only hope it didn't let them down. What will you do when we return to land? Well, I have to face my family, first and foremost. I never felt good enough to carry my father's name, but now? Well, thank you. Keep in contact. If you need your haircut anytime, I'll tell my father to treat you for free. Speak to Kasha. Well, I have a lot to ride on our sail back, don't I? I still can't believe this. I'm looking at it, and I still can't believe it. Not just the tree, but sailing the Viscount back to land. I'd never believed it if I read it. What do you think this tree is? I am no scientist, but I'm fascinated as to what they'll discover. Though I fear that information won't be a matter of public record. It's funny, Captain. The reason I took on this story, interest in exploration, was waning. I grew up on the stories of Kurt Darling. These great explorers were like legends to me. I didn't want that passion to disappear. Who would have thought we'd stumble upon a great discovery on our own? You're one of those great explorers now, Kasha. Your name will be in the history books. That is bizarre to think about, Captain. Regardless, I hope you continue to thrive, Shaw. You deserve that much. In fact, remember to keep in touch with me. Especially if you have a good story to share. They'll write books about you one day, Robin. I know I will. Speak to Stanberry. Arf. Good girl, Stanberry. Good girl. Stanberry lets out a playful bark. To be honest with you, Shaw, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this madness. Well, I doubt such knowledge will be out of our hands once we return to land, correct? Still, I suppose we should be proud in our discovery. We wouldn't have made it this far without you, Cordell. Or Crean, or Rosa, or Pascal, or Stanberry. I did not accomplish much on my own, Captain. All I ask is that my kennel be remembered. It will be odd to return to land. My name will be in the papers soon. No doubt I'll be recognized from my past. What will you do once we return to land? I certainly won't be returning to my past life, even if I'm known. I believe I'll find a new home, start over with a new kennel. I've done as much before. I intend to do so again. With any luck, we will not meet again. I hope not. I hope we meet again. Well, we'll see. Frankly, you seem to bring misfortune, Captain. Oh. A jape, of course. It has been interesting, Robin. Promise me that you will take care of yourself. Burn the tree, sail home, send an envoy. No, we just sail home. Let's go. The tree stands proud, the ship ready to sail. Well, I would call it ready, but let's give it a shot. Sail out of the grotto with the Viscount and the tree intact. This is crazy. Speak to Natalie. Captain, I could not be more pleased to inform you that my seasickness has returned. I never thought there would come a day that I'd be thankful for such a thing. Yet here we are. This was a difficult journey. I'm glad to be done with it. You and me both, Doctor. You should probably get some rest, Captain. You can finally afford yourself a good night's sleep. Natalie looks to the tree. I wish we weren't bringing that with us. A tremendous discovery, no doubt, but, well, it frightens me. It will be out of our hands soon. Frankly, that concerns me more. If what Hans said is true, Nobby takes in a deep breath. I wonder, when my father sees me again, what will he say first? What expression will come to his face? Ultimately, I don't know, despite it all. Doesn't matter. You've accomplished so much for yourself. You're right. I did not do this just for him. Still, I'm curious. I suppose I'll know when it happens, won't I? We're going home. Thank you, Rob, for everything. If I never see you again when we reach land, I hope you remain happy and healthy until the end of your days. That's kind of him. Kasha. You spot Kasha looking out at the horizon, snapping one more picture from the ship's view. Ah, perfect. Captain, perfect sky, don't you think? To think my initial report was a simple celebration of explorers past. I never would have imagined it would become this. I doubt anyone expected this journey. The truth can be stranger than fiction. Exactly why I don't deal in the fiction, Robin. I find this so much more fascinating. Kasha looks towards the tree. I wonder how people will react seeing this thing in my report. I was too stunned when I looked eyes with it. I didn't pay attention to the rest of the crew. I wonder if even a picture of it is enough for them to believe in it. I can scarcely believe it myself. That's why your report is so important. Of course, but my writing can only go so far. It only has so much reach. Everyone must know about us. They must know what we found. Kasha pauses for a moment in thought. You know me, Cap. I've always been one to take risks in search of the story. But I want you to know that doesn't mean that I don't feel fear. I do. Frankly, I was terrified throughout our journey, but I tried to hide it. I couldn't be a helpless civilian, could I? So, thank you for helping me get home. You held your own, Kasha. Your bravery helped the crew as well. Is that so? Ha! I can't imagine such a thing. I suppose putting on a brave face has its benefits. Growing up, I was fascinated with the great captains and explorers of old. I never thought I'd see the rise of the greatest yet. The one they'll sing songs of, write countless books of. Thank you for making history, Robin. I think we both earned the rest. That might be true. Speak to Cordell. Robin, I can see the horizon of the water ahead. I had doubted that we would bear witness to this day. From the moment I heard of your destination, I believed you were sailing to your demise. And yet you joined the expedition. And yet I did. I could not abandon my kennel, Shaw. Even where death would guarantee, I would have wished it to be with them. Cordell turns her attention towards the tree. I do not believe a word of Hunt's ramblings, yet those in power most certainly will. Well, it is not any of my business. Do you intend to keep hiding away from society? I can hope. To do so is less feasible when word of our travels follow. My pleasant period of solitude may well be coming to an end. Such is life. Cordell looks around at the rest of the crew aboard the ship. Good people, all of them. I had not considered this group when I first signed aboard. I did not expect to know them as I did. I did not expect to know you as I did, Robin. Thank you. No, thank you. Your knowledge truly was invaluable. As was yours, as was Hammond's, as was Kurt's. No single one of us carried the rest. I do not know if we will meet again, Robin. I wish you the best from here. I truly do. Stanbury approaches, playfully nuzzling her head against your hand. Arf, arf. Seems Stanbury wishes you the best as well, Captain. Nice. Templeton. Captain, it is a great relief to be on the ocean once more. I remember the last time we stood here. I spoke of the great expectation upon us. It is difficult to say if we fulfilled such. Be proud of yourself, Temple. This is a great thing you have accomplished. Oh, shoot. Worry not about what others expect, Temple. You should be pleased with our survival. You are right, of course. Apologies, my mind has been racing since we set off. Templeton turns his attention towards the tree. What a specimen in all my years. I've never could have imagined. I admit, Sean, I do not know what our benefactors intend with this tree, a true marvel of science. I do not trust their intention. Neither do I. The Abertons have not earned my trust. An understandable outlook. I cannot blame you. I truly must commend you, Captain. When I first bore witness to this crew, I felt it an impossible task to handle them, to keep their impulses in line. Not only did I find one capable of such a thing, but I found that my own impulses needed to be handled as well. For that, I thank you. This crew is more capable than you give them credit for. They've proven as much, time and time again. You're right, they truly have. When I first saw you, Robin, I had made a strong judgment. I had done the same for the rest of the crew on first meeting. I proved to be completely and hopelessly wrong each time. I have much to learn. I hope this will not be the last time you and I work together. Until then, I wish you the best, Robin. Shaw, can you believe it? Never thought we'd be settling out on the bloody Viscount. Too many surprises out here. Hopefully we don't see another. You've somehow managed to be prepared for each one. All part of the job, Captain. Hammond eyes the tree. Don't like the look of that thing. More than anything, don't like how excited Templeton was. I don't like it either, but it's part of the ship. I latched into its beauty. Absolutely bloody shame. But keeping that thing to save the ship might be my first compromise. Hopefully, last. Hammond pauses for a moment. I'll be honest with you, Robin. I was so focused on keeping us alive. But I didn't think we'd actually make it out of here. Thought I was just delaying the inevitable. You kept me going, Captain. Kept me busy, if you hadn't. All part of the job, Hammond. Hammond smirks. So it is. Never thought I'd say it, but maybe there's still plenty for me to learn. I've learned from you, Captain. I'm able to admit that now. Don't get me wrong, though. Me being a stubborn bastard still kept us alive. Wouldn't have it any other way. We did it, Robin. Soak this time in. I know I will. Speak with Hunt. Ah, Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Hunt. I'd begun to miss days like these. You finally have time to get your bearings, Shaw. Cherish this peace. You seem hopeful. Do I? Call it relief. You bring me on as a free man, but I doubt I'll remain one. Some bastard will be after my head the second we make it home. Hunt looks to the tree. It should be destroyed the first chance we get. I don't care if people see it, if the word spreads. Don't care if it ends up in Belfort's report. I just need to make sure it doesn't fall into their hands. Agreed, but the crew's safety comes first. Aye, that's why you're the captain. You've done a fine job. I still don't know what made you so special, Shaw. What made you stand out among the rest. Bah, I'll never figure it out. Far above the head of a man like me, isn't it? Hunt looks across the rest of the crew. An interesting mix, don't you think? Never could have expected they'd pull through, after all. We're more than our mistakes, Rufus. Let people surprise you. Ha! Now where have I heard that before? When we spoke that night, I was in the top about what it takes to be a leader. I didn't think you had any idea what you were saying. I couldn't hear the confidence in those words. Shows what I know, doesn't it? I'm going to enjoy the horizon, Robin. I suggest you do the same. Go work. Right, that is it. Let's set a course. Staring out to the horizon, your first mate, Cordell, comes up beside you. Well, Shaw, what is our heading? Sail for home and give the tree to Minerva. Sail for the closest shore and burn the tree. Screw it. The Lady Apperton will be most pleased. Home it is. Some weeks later. Kasha, what do you mean? I'm sorry, Belfort, we're just not running it. You can't turn around and say something like that. I'm at the press right now. This report is ready to go. I know, but we can't print it. This is sure to be the biggest report of the year, of the decade, and you're not running it? You approved it just yesterday. What changed? We were contacted. There was some outside pressure. Oh, I see now. Let me guess. The Apperton Food Company. They're a prominent sponsor. They're not a major paper, Belfort. We can't take the financial hit. To hells with this. Hells? You're speaking like a salt pork. Fine, we won't print the story. Then I'll find someone who will. I'll print it up myself. Distribute it from my back garden if I have to. Kurt Darling could sell thousands of books on this. On your head be it, Belfort. Aye, on my head be it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Kurt, my, it was quite the journey. We fought through all adversity, brushed with blizzards and leopard seals. Of course, not all of us were so fortunate as to return home to tell these tales. But that's enough from me. I'll throw it to the floor. Any questions? Come on now, don't be shy. Any at all? Well, moving on. What? Officer, Moleman, we need to release some steam. You don't have to tell me twice, bloody hell. Don't speak back to me. Remember your rank, engineer. Just an engineer, aye. Do you know what ship I served on? You're not on a ship anymore, Hammond. And no, I don't. Of course you don't. Nobody does. grimly stis on the street. Several people pass by in a rush, paying no heed to the man. Spot of change? Unanswered. Forget it. Solemnly, grimly remains. Speaker, please welcome Lady Ingrid Cordelia Weston. Cordell enters the gala. The shock of many, a dog follows her at the side. The woman gently nuzzling the creature's head. Arf, arf. Try not to get too excited, Stanberry. It's only a gala. Lady Weston, what is the meaning of this? Sir, you call me by name, yet I have no idea who you are. Well, you should know that. I was not asking. You cannot bring a mutt with you. How odd. It seemed perfectly capable of doing so a moment ago. Arf. Yes, this way, Stanberry. My hands to shake, many hands to shake, names to forget. That sort of bother. I would prefer to be home for late. The pups need feed. Cordell moves across the room, a faithful dog and tail. Notley and Kasha stand at the entrance to the barber shop belonging to Arthur Notley, Sr. Nervous? Always, yes. Ha! But are you more or less nervous than usual? Less nervous, more giddy? A good sort of nervous, I suppose? Notley enters, followed by Kasha. Is that him? He's coming this way. Arthur Notley Sr. spots his son from across the shop. Arthur? My goodness. Is it really you? Father, The doctor isn't able to begin a sentence, interrupted by the barber throwing his arms around him, granting him a constricting hug. It's you, my boy. You're alive. The younger Arthur hesitates, surprised, before returning the hug from his father. I am. Does your mother know? Your sister? Unless they've read it in the paper. Speaking of, I wrote something for you. Notley hands his father an envelope. Please read it. Sometime when I'm not here. Of course, I will. Kasha clears the throat. Pleased to meet you, sir. Kasha Belfort. Ah, don't think I didn't notice you. How do you know my son? I hope he hasn't gotten himself in trouble. Arthur? In trouble? Hardly. Father, Kasha and I are... Well, I think you see that we're... an item. Yes. Arthur Sr. paused for a moment, before a grin appears on his face. Son, you've been busy. Come, sit. I have much to hear. The old scientist ponders the table before him. He lights a cigarette. Mr. Templeton, you wish to speak with me? Yes, do not worry, this won't take long. Out with it, then. Never Epperton. I, Richard Templeton, hereby tender my resignation. This is sudden. I assure you that it is not. I have given this a great deal of thought. I intend to leave your services, effectively immediately. Very well. Will that be all? Will that be all? Is there anything else you need of me? No. One reflection. There's nothing else I need from you. Minerva Epperton exits the greenhouse. Templeton breathed a sigh of relief. He reaches into his potted plant, removing a small, brightly colored fruit. Minerva, I have all that I need from you. Hunt waits in his cell. The days have passed by, as the once kept not Temperance awaits his trial. This is horrid, isn't it? Not even a neighbor to keep me company. Hunt speaks to himself in the empty hall, his own voice echoing through the walls. Ah, the stories I could have shared with them would turn your hair white. I wonder, could I do it all again? Suppose it's too late now. Hunt continues his ramblings, not a soul around to answer his pleas. Oh, here we are. Week 38. All the air was cold. A flake and white. A captain made a pledge. To the ice, I pray that leads reveal some charted course ahead. Of home I'll reach, of warmth near found, through sail to comfort's bed, a hunger drew the desperate here. It's one that I have fed. What did I do when steel hearts broke and courage did abscond? I fled these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. Sign off.